remote. Hi, this is Bianca Wooden, and I am with Better Beginnings, Childbirth Education and Lactation Care. And I am here with Brooke Shambley today. She is a doula here on the Mississippi coast, and I wanted to introduce her to all of you guys. So hi, Brooke.
Hi. Glad to.
So what, I didn't ask you, what is your, do you have a company name as well?
Oh, yes. Boholistic Mom.
Oh yeah, I do remember that now. Brooke and I have known each other in the birth world for a little while now, so that's good. So I do remember that now that you say it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what kind of work you're doing these days?
Well, over time, I've done kind of a little bit of the gamut. As I actually personally struggle with infertility, I've kind of been able to help other women kind of walk in an infertility journey. So I kind of call it a fertility doula, just to help women to kind of go through the different ideas and just coach them through. It's really intimidating trying to figure out your first steps. And so I help in that way. I've been able to be a birth doula. I was certified with Madrella. And so just kind of helping form the birth plan, come up with ideas about, different, if you want to try different positions when you're birthing, if you don't want to try positions, but just have a more thorough knowledge of what you're going to experience when you go to have birth. And then also postpartum doula, just kind of giving that support afterwards. There's just so much that's changed, when you have a baby, whether you have one kid or more. And then also with that, I've actually been able to help a mother to just later weaning, kind of just helping to that process and come up with a plan to help a mom. Again, it was an older child that was just, mom was ready to have some good night's sleep. And so I got to help with that process as well.
So unfortunately, I think I couldn't hear those last words you said. So I'm sure that might show up on the recording. So you were talking about the birth process, but then also support, sorry, my phone's going off, support with parents as they're back at home and taking care of their children.
Yes, just kind of postpartum, just giving them the time to spend with their baby and bond rather than worrying about, what that means. I'm helping with a little bit of doing a load of dishes, throwing in a load of towels, whatever it is, just to help them kind of just spend that bonding time with their baby. But then also I was able to help with the weaning process, like for an older child, just where it's kind of hard to, it's like breastfeeding is beautiful, but then when the mom's ready to have a good night's sleep, just kind of helping that be a non-traumatic process for both the mom and the baby. Well, more like toddler at that point.
Yeah. Well, what I know of you is that you're just also a wealth of knowledge about self-care and nourishing your body. And I'm sure you bring all that, whether it's pregnancy or fertility or afterwards. I'm sure that all, comes into play when you're working with moms. If that's something that interests them. It's just, you just have so much knowledge in that area.
Yeah, for anyone who's interested, it's like I care about making sure that they're nourished before pregnancy, during pregnancy, after pregnancy. However, that's being a doula, you just want to, you provide the information and the assistance that they desire, as opposed to, I am not going to shove anything down anybody's throat of, if you want your Cheetos, you just keep your Cheetos over there. So
absolutely, yes, that is the good thing about being a doula is we are not judgmental. I mean, that's the way doulas should be. And same in my lactation world. We're not there to tell you how you should do things, but we bring so much information to the table and support as you navigate this time in your life. So that's great. Now, you said you had fertility issues, but do you have children?
I have one 13-year-old, and so that's everything went super smoothly. We tried for 2 months and I was able to conceive my son. And then, it's just very interesting. Everybody has their own kind of journey, but for mine, the doctors still are rather clueless about why infertility. But in that, over 12 years, you have a lot of information of all these amazing things that for most women would have such a huge impact on their fertility. And so it's great to be that wealth of knowledge. And maybe one day it will also come to fruition for us as well.
Yeah. So is that what brought you into doula work, was like after you had your child, or what made you interested in this work at all? How did that become part of your story of life?
So when I was pregnant with my son, I'm going to go for the typical new mom, because honestly, most of the new moms I know have this kind of new mom mentality of, oh, it's okay, I'm going to just read some books. Maybe I'll attend just a few classes. But, women have been having babies for, thousands of years. So, it can't be that hard, right?
Right.
And so I'm going to say I was a tad bit prideful. And when I went into the birth situation, I was not prepared to make the decisions I needed to make. And I didn't have the information I needed I'm trying to think. I was directed into making decisions I did not want to make. And so kind of one thing led to another of just run down. My water broke a month early. When your water breaks a month early, they want to give you Pitocin. As soon as you have Pitocin, you have, you're going to have more pain. I would say more painful contractions. Once you have more painful contractions, and they're immediately saying, oh, you need an epidural. Then you get epidural, everything slows down, and then they tell you need a C-section. So they got you on what's the line, in a factory kind of.
Yeah, an assembly line.
Assembly line. Yeah. It's like assembly line to a C-section. And that didn't seem like much fun. And I really didn't want other women to have to go through that, as there's so many different things that I didn't know that when I was in the worst pain, I was in transition. And that once you get an epidural at transition, that you're going to now delay your birth. So there's all these different things of like, if I had only known. And so I had to give myself a lot of grace once I kind of learned all the information, but then that way I could actually help other women to know the choices that they have and not be kind of, I'm going to say, a little railroaded into decisions that other people want them to make.
Yeah. Just being there, having someone by your side when you're navigating, whether it's fertility, pregnancy, birth, postpartum, having someone that just has dedicated their career to getting all this information and development, so that someone next to you can be like, oh yeah, I know about this, or I don't know about this and I know where to get the information. So it sounds like you realized like, oh, I could have used a doula, so maybe I can be a doula to others.
Totally.
I know you've helped lots of women, and in different places too, because you've moved and then moved again, and I've known you through that. So, all right, well, I'm going to post this video, and I'm going to put the link to your contact information in there, so that if you are a good fit for someone, they'll know how to reach out to you for your services and chat with you about it.
Okay.
So, okay, well, thank you for taking a few minutes to talk with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bianca.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.